already broken. But we don't care. Stephanie! Cynthia! Oh my goodness. Hi everybody. Welcome, 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 welcome. Hi. Well, this dollar store guitar really paid off. There is not a string to strum. Hi Larissa. And I was gonna go on YouTube live, but apparently my channel does not support going live. Stupid channel. It says my channel does not meet updated eligibility requirements. Well, screw you, YouTube. Screw you. Hi, everybody. I am so happy to be here. Welcome to Kale Sunday. Now, it's not really Kale Sunday, but we're making it Kale Sunday, and I came all ready to play you a Kale song. And then all my strings broke. Look, I could make it an earring now, but it's okay. I think I can still do it. I love kale, you don't. I can cook kale, but you won't. I can eat kale, but do you? I don't know. I don't have a song. I know, shocking, right? I do not have a song. But honestly, folks, a few months ago, I decided I was going to show the world how to cook kale chips. And I did that. But I'm on another mission now to show you other ways to cook kale that is so good. Kale is so good for you. Like one of those phyto greens that you really need. It's not really a phyto green, but it is a nutrient-filled green vegetable. I mean, how can you really not like this? It's gorgeous. And a lot of people they have no idea about kale. So what they do is they bring it home, they boil it or they steam it, and they taste it, and then they go, God, this tastes like a garden weed. Well, that's where I come in. I am going to show you a recipe today. I don't even have a name for it. I made it up myself. I'm calling it Easy Kale Saute. You could call it God, Siobhan is so awesome because she just gave me a great way to cook kale. You can if you want. But I am here today for that. So thank you all for tuning in. If you're watching on the replay, thank you so much for chiming in. I promised you at the end of December that I was not going to leave you, and I promise you I will not. Now, if you happen to hear a camera going off, it's because I have the paparazzi here. And in all joking aside, it's just my husband. But I got a secret for you. I'm getting my website set up. I know, right? It is SiobhanCoates.com, and it is a work in progress, but I'm telling you, I've already got it started. And I think I even have my name. You might have caught a hashtag that was Siobhan's SparkUp Cooking. Let's just say there's a hint in there about my business name and what I'm going to be doing. Aside from SparkUp Cooking, there's going to be SparkUp Comedy and SparkUp Coaching. I know. Hold your applause. I know, I can hardly contain my excitement. You're not gonna believe this. You're not gonna believe it when I get it set up. I'm so excited. But in the meantime, I think I'm a little bit more excited about this kale. All you need for this kale saute is kale. Yeah, you can get that away. Is kale, a red onion. I know I burst it, like I was just strumming it. I know my guitar guy's looking at my dollar store ukulele going, what the hell did you do? I strummed it too hard is what I did. That's what he said. Never ending joke. So we're gonna use some kale. We're gonna use some red onion. And the spices that I have lined up, we've got some red wine vinegar. You can also use balsamic vinegar. Now, balsamic vinegar is a little stronger of a taste than white wine, so if you really despise the taste of kale, you're gonna cover it up with balsamic vinegar. And then we have our chili peppers. So we are all ready to go. How has December been treating you? No, not December. It's January. I know. It's like I went right back into Christmas again. January. Well, it certainly has been a little bit exciting, hasn't it? But you know what? I am here to help you get out of your head and get out of the world news that you can't control. My God. And I'm in Canada. And you can imagine the number of people in Canada who are glued to their set watching what's happening in the States. We can't control it, but it's amazing how many people are getting so angry and so worked up. And it's like that's their husband that's doing it, or their next door neighbor, or someone from even within their house. And I'm distancing myself from that because I can't control it. And I'm not feeding it. I'm not feeding the frenzy. I'm not feeding the anger. I'm not putting it out there because I can't. Because there's nothing I can do about it. And it's just going to, again, hi Nigel, it is just going to been treating me fabulous. I know, Stephanie, I know January's been treating you fabulous. So we are going to, as the world turns with Jerry Springer show. Oh, I know it. Well, hopefully Stephanie and my friend Stephanie is down in the States. You only have another 10 days and then Biden's in there. So we're going to take our kale. Now, if you remember from kale chips, if you tuned into kale chips, you know, all these kales have a big spine in them that you don't necessarily want to cook. So I just take my knife, which is newly sharpened, and you just go along the side of the spine. And of course I don't have my camera set up, but I can actually get rid of the phone. My apparatus that was going to video on YouTube, should have checked that out first, but that's okay. I'm broadening my horizons. I'm gonna get out of my comfort zone of Facebook and start to get into YouTube and Instagram. I actually don't have Instagram on the other apparatus. Taking the kale, and this is what we're doing. I know you can't really see it, but I'm just slimming down. I'm gonna angle the camera down so you can see what I'm doing here with the kale. Oh my gosh, look at that big piece. So again, we're just gonna chop along the vein here. Chop along the vein. I know it sounds painful, but you see how I'm doing that? Just right along the side of each one. Just come in, a sharp knife does really handy, and then that just, look, comes right off. So then I got, on guard, I got that. So this is gonna make these really easy to chop up into bite-sized pieces. And I'm gonna use all this kale. I know, right? Hi, Tina. How are you? And Nicola, Happy New Year. And again, taking the kale and just along the spine here. Look at that. Look how beautiful that turns out. Look how nice that is. And we all know that kale shrinks as well, right? So just like spinach, you get a whole pot of it and it renders down a little bit. So I'm gonna cut, this is a lot of kale. But that's okay. I am lucky I married a man who loves kale, probably because I cook it so well. and that I enjoy. So what I'm just gonna do right now, my friends, is cut it up into smaller, kind of bite-sized pieces. Oh my goodness. So, Siobhan's SparkUp. You're gonna wanna belong to Siobhan's SparkUp community, I guarantee you. I guarantee you the SparkUp community is gonna be a lot of fun. There's gonna be a lot of fun stuff to do in there. It's gonna be a lot of fun stuff that I'm gonna offer because my goal really has not changed from December, which was to bring light, joy, laughter, fun, shenanigans, camaraderie, community, all those good words. All those good words. And if I can't do it, then who can really? Because I'm a buffoon in real life. I really am a buffoon. And honestly, if you want to hire a buffoon for your next party, right here. One second. Had to pick up a little bit of kale. So here we go. So again, I'm chopping up my kale. Should get going here. Chopping up my kale. So I've got a fair bit of kale here, which I think is gonna be just fine. As you can see, I've got a monster bit of kale. And what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna thinly slice the red onion, and then we're gonna start cooking. So the onion I put in, just slice and peel it here, and I am going to just slice it in rings. I've chopped it before, but I kind of like thin rings to go with the kale. It's just easier to eat. And here I go. Oh, I think I still have a little bit of skin here. Okay. So here we go. I'm gonna get my cast iron pan starting to go. I'm gonna fry in olive oil. However, you can fry this up in coconut oil or vegetable oil if you have it. I use olive oil for some cooking. Other cooking I do use coconut oil. And other cooking I do use peanut oil. And in some cases, yes, I use butter. Okay. I know. We're doing this. So here we go. Couple more thin slices, and then I'm gonna heat up the fry pan just like this. I have so many great plans for some more lives coming up as we go, because I'm going to continue doing the lives and doing the cooking and eventually broadening up into other things as well. So there we go. I don't know if anybody I don't think anybody here caught my I love sesame. Oh, sesame oil. I got the sesame oil in the counter. I could use sesame oil, but I don't really want to, in case it tastes like sesame for my kale, and I don't want to do that right now. But I got to tell you, I have got some great things planned. I'm going to get into my healthy cooking again. I know Christmas I splurged. I cooked some things that were really not stuff that I would normally eat. And what I'm going to do for 2021 is to cook things that I actually eat. And a lot of that now is vegetarian. So I'm cooking, sesame and balsamic. Oh yeah, exactly. Sesame and balsamic. Yeah, not good. I'm actually using red wine vinegar today, but again, sesame and red wine vinegar, not so much. So I'm adding the olive oil right now into the pan. I am looking for a good veggie burger recipe. I do have a good veggie burger recipe that I'm going to do in the near future. I am also going to be going live and doing other things as well. As you know, I can really just press that live button and go. It's crazy, I know. But I'm going to be bringing laughter yoga to the masses on Sunday, January 24th through Hilarapy. I'm going to be leading a laughter yoga class for the public. and there will be a link. I'll send you a link. I've already posted a couple links for that, but I will post another link as well. I'm on the Hilarity Laughter Yoga schedule. I'm a visiting instructor there, and I will be leading laughter yoga classes on Wednesdays at 6:30 p.m. So if you get home from work and you've had a bad day and you just want to laugh, but you don't even feel like laughing and you don't care and you're miserable, log on to Hilarity and come to one of my laughter yoga classes. I'm guaranteed to make you feel better, because you know your body doesn't know whether you're fake laughing or real laughing. You still get the same results, which I was dumbfounded by. I honestly did not realize that. How many of you just think that you can't laugh unless something's funny and nothing's good? Your body doesn't know. Your body does not know, because the physical mechanics of laughing is still there. I know it's amazing. I know it's amazing. All right, my friends, we're heating up the oil here now. So the trick with kale and onion is what I do. I'm gonna add the onion first, and I just sort of par cook it a little bit. So sizzle, sizzle. I'm gonna move the camera back around so you're kind of looking back at me here with my onion. So I'm splitting up the onion rings here. There we go. And again, sauteing the onion rings, the onion in here. And I'll saute it just a bit, maybe for a minute or two, just to get it started and get it softened a little bit. And then I'm gonna start to add the kale bit by bit. If I put that whole bunch of kale in the pan, it's gonna be a heap, and the bottom's gonna cook and the top's not gonna cook. But what I do is I batch cook it a little bit, and then it gets down there. So I got an onion ring in. I got onion in here. There we go. There we go. Nice saute. Now I'm thinking, because I have about this much kale to cook. It's not all the kale. I should just add one more thing of kale. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. And here we go. Thank you so much for watching and tuning in. I've missed going live every day. Bruce, hey Bruce, how are ya? Bruce, I'm cooking kale. I am cooking my own kale stir fry, my own saute that I made up. Hey Jax, how are you? Sing the kale song. Oh, I love kale, but you don't. I'm gonna eat kale, but you won't. Ha, that's the first two words. Although after I finish cooking kale, you're gonna wanna cook this. So the onions have been in there for a couple minutes. I'm gonna start to add the kale to the pan by the handful. So this is what I do. I'm adding it by the handful, and then what I'll do is I'll kind of flatten it down a bit and get it in with the onions. So you can hear it sizzling there. Let's listen to the sizzle. Shh. Sounds good, eh? So that's just sizzling. That's probably the onion sizzling. I'm here because I see Graham's gonna take a picture of me. See, do you see the flash? Yeah. So, and I'll start to stir. You see the steam coming up right away? And what I'm doing is I'm just putting those cooked onions sort of on top of the kale now. I'm stir frying. And as that first bunch of kale renders down a little bit, you know, it shrinks like spinach. It's going to shrink down a bit. What I'm going to do, you can see it's shrunk down. It shrunk down a little bit from what I've done. Oh, fried onions, so good. I'm going to add more kale in there now. So I'm taking, you know what, this is going to be my second handful of kale. I'm going to add that in now as well. And again, sort of the same thing, flatten it down a little bit. And then right away, get the hot stuff that's at the bottom of the pan up on top of the kale that's cooking. And dropping out of the pan and onto the floor. And I'm at about a medium-high heat right now for those that are interested. And I don't want my onions to burn, so again, what I'm trying to do is sort of flip the onions so the onions are on the top, And you know what? I'm gonna add a little bit more kale because like I said, the kale renders down and you don't wanna have, really you don't wanna have more onion than kale because it's not an onion saute, it's a kale saute. So I just added as we go, a couple more pieces of kale. Stir frying and rendering it down. I know render is not really the right word, but of course, as the kale, we're certainly not going to forget to season with salt and pepper. Can I turn this down a little bit? I can. There we go. I'm going to add my salt and pepper now as well. Seasoning is so important. I know people don't like salt and pepper sometimes, but do you know that salt and pepper brings out the natural flavor of food? That's why it is called seasoning and not spices. Salt and pepper are not a spice. Salt and pepper are seasonings. And seasoning means, of course, oh yeah, look at this. It's coming along quite nicely. So a few more stirs. I'm going to show you what this looks like. Again, you remember how much kale I had. And now we're kind of down to about that much. You see that there? You could also use white onion as well. You don't need to use red onion. I have found that I like red onion, for aesthetics. I got to go for dinner. Yeah, rock on, rock the kale. Yeah, Bruce. You can finish watching the live to see how this turns out. Okay, so I'm getting to the point now where I'm going to add two things. I am going to add my red wine vinegar and my chili peppers. Gotta have a little spice in there. Now you'll find the red wine vinegar is gonna almost, caramelize. Not really caramelize, but listen. Sprinkle of the peppers right here. And depending on how much you like spice or heat, smells so good. Oh my gosh, friends. So that heaping bunch of kale that I had has amassed to this. Look at that. And do you know what happens next? I eat it. So we're going to get a little bowl. Let's just get a little bowl here. And literally, this is what I do. So that big head of kale that you saw, that I only have this remnants of, has come down to really this and another serving just like it. I wish you could smell that because you know what I smell? I don't smell kale. I smell onions and I smell red wine vinegar. Oh my God, it smells so good. How does it taste? Let's find out. So when my website is up, you know what I can say? I can say, go to SiobhanCoates.com and look under the Siobhan SparkUp Cooking and you're gonna find this recipe. That is right, my friends. That is what is happening in my life. One thing I've learned from rewatching my lives, the godforsaken eating with my mouth full. It only took me about 8 lives to realize hopefully I wasn't like that in lunchrooms over the years. Like when I worked, was I a loud chewer? I had to kind of let go of watching myself on video. I had to let go of a lot of pickiness, including the chewing with my mouth open and being embarrassed or ashamed that I did that. Who cares? I learned. Now I don't do that. And if you don't believe me, Graham, come on over. Grammy, want to bite of kale? Maybe he doesn't want kale. Look at that. There was somebody there. You saw that there was kale there? Is it good? It is so good. I'm not steering you wrong with this. I can't even taste the kale. I'm chewing on something green, but the kale taste is gone. And in its place are bold flavors, and that is the trick with kale. If you don't like kale, you've got to find bold flavors that are going to complement the boldness of the kale. And saute it enough so that it's soft. So good. I've been making this with balsamic vinegar for a while. You've taught Graham well. He chewed with his mouth closed, yeah. So that's, don't talk when you're swallowing. Especially if you're swallowing and there's a pepper on whatever it is that you just ate. So how's that for simple kale? Just like that. Head of kale, red onion, saute it up, add your red wine vinegar, your peppers, your salt and pepper, and there you go. You got a side dish. The same would work for spinach, but you don't need to cook the spinach that long. You can do this with spinach. You can also add mushrooms and onions to this too. Like the possibilities are endless. Like there really is no excuse for not eating kale. I know you can find one. But if you are a kale lover, please try this recipe. Reach out to me. It's going to be on my website when my website gets up in another few weeks. It's going to be up there. Siobhan SparkUp. Look for it. So good. So good. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Siobhan's SparkUp Kitchen. Oh, another one. Siobhan's SparkUp Kitchen. I think I like that better than Siobhan's SparkUp Cooking. Doesn't matter. I know, Wendy. I'm so glad that you're here too. I'm going to be going live. I'm probably going to be chili pepper. Yeah, this makes great TV, hey? And then she went down. I'm kidding. Stay tuned to my Facebook page, to my Instagram, for more information on when I'm going live again. And be on the lookout for the launch of my website. I will probably go live for that because I'm so excited. And I am going to periodically go live really anytime I want. And I so appreciate you coming in. If you're watching on the replay, thank you so much for tuning in to Siobhan's SparkUp Kitchen. That's what I'm going to call it. And stay tuned for more exciting stuff coming from me. You have not heard the last of me. In fact, this is all just the beginning, my friends. Look out, 2021. Love to you all. Thank you so much for watching. Go buy some kale and saute it up. It is so good. I promise. I promise you. Love to you all. We will see you soon. Thanks for tuning in.